Hey guys, it's Willow. Today I wanted to do a very special video for you. One of my accounts has reached a pretty crazy milestone and I wanted to share it with you. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to give you an update on all of my accounts and introduce you to some that you may have never seen before or even knew existed. Let's start with Willow 2 and Willow 3. Both of these accounts have been in the game since early 2023, so they have had over 2 years of game time. Now, some interesting backstory on them is that Willow 2 was my pet score account, and Willow 3 was my metallics account. So prior to the mine update, there were basically two things that you could focus on. You could increase your pet score by rebirthing and generating prodigious, because back then the ascended generation did not exist. Or you could hunt the 1200 metallics and try to complete that index. I had created Willow 2 to be the ultimate booster account, and Willow 3 was the account that I was planning to get all 1200 metallics on. Eventually the mine update came along and those plans changed, but today I now have two very strong booster accounts, and I will most likely keep them as boosters and not ascend them. When I ascended my main account, most of my stats that I had spent 2 years building up were reset to 0. So in a way, Willow 2 and 3 are a way to look back and see what my main account would have basically looked like had I not ascended her. So the first thing I wanted to show you, which is something that I had mentioned in the intro of this video, is that Willow 2 just recently reached a pretty incredible milestone in the game. Just a few days ago, she reached 1 trillion damage. I never in my entire history of this game ever thought that I would see a number like that on total damage. So that was pretty incredible to experience, and that number could actually be so much higher, but I only keep my boosters sitting out at spawn and just generating ascended. I don't have them at the crank, I don't have them in the mine, and that's really just a way to help with lag and things like that. So potentially she could be even stronger than this, but that just really blew my mind when I saw that she had reached 1 trillion damage. And Willow 3 is really not that far behind her, with her damage totaling 799 billion. So let's take a look at the rest of their stats. And you're going to see that for the most part, their stats are going to be pretty close together. I haven't looked at these in a while, so this will be really interesting to see. So pet score is somewhat close between the two of them. It's interesting to see that Willow 3 has more quests completed. I honestly can't say why that is, but she has a higher number of quests. Something you're going to see with my accounts, the older accounts are going to always have higher numbers of rebirths because these accounts existed prior to the mine when we really didn't have much to do in the game. So we either were rebirthing or we were hunting metallics. And you can see that, obviously Willow 2 has a much higher number of rebirths, not as much as on my main, but compared to Willow 3, you can see that she obviously spent more time working on pet score, and as I had mentioned, Willow 3 was my metallic hunting account, so she was doing much less rebirths than Willow 2 was. Then we have our shiny score and exotic crystal score. So these exotic crystal scores are pretty high, and if I were to choose to ascend them, that would be a really big advantage. However, I really truly don't think I will ever ascend. I know I won't ascend Willow 2. I will keep her kind of frozen in time, forever becoming more and more powerful, but if I would ever choose to ascend Willow 3, this exotic crystal score here would be really a lot of an advantage because you get to keep 5% of your exotic crystal score when you ascend. So if I were to ascend Willow 3 right now, she would start off that ascension with over 250 million exotic crystal score. So that's pretty significant, pretty amazing. Now let's look at some just for fun stats here. So both of them have maxed their metallic luck in the Grove, and this was actually done after they had completed the game, just because I had stones to spend. Prior to Ascension, I never actually maxed metallic luck on a lot of my accounts, and that was something that I started doing a lot later in the game after realizing a lot of the benefits that you get maxing metallic luck. Both of these accounts had maxed the rune wall, of course, long ago. So anytime we are doing AFK questing in my server, I put the auto clicker up here on the quest claim reward button, and it just claims these quests so quickly. And you can see that both of these accounts have over 50 million runes that they will never get to spend because they completed these walls long ago. Both of these accounts have achieved 1-in-1 shiny luck. That's why you see every pet on their generation bar is a shiny pet, every fused pet. And if they were mining, every pet that they hatched while mining would be a shiny pet. Looking at their gold multipliers, Willow 2 has a gold multiplier of 9.6 billion, which is insane. And Willow 3 has 3.4 billion gold multiplier. And oh my goodness, that is a lot. So you can see the gold that they have saved up here is not even a number that I can read. And if we change this to displaying the units, it simply tells us that we have a lot of gold. So of course, because they're booster accounts, their pets are in areas outside of the mine. But let's take their pets in the mine and just see what happens and how much gold they make per second. So if you're watching behind me, their pet are destroying these mine crystals within 2 shots. Their gold per second is so high that the number doesn't even register. So if we turn off units once again, that is what they're making gold per second. Which I'm kind of speechless because that is, again, numbers that I never thought I would see in my history of this game. I started out in June of 2022 and the game was hard. It was really hard. We didn't have boosters back then. Everybody was, for the most part, on the same level. You know, it was really slow. Rebirths took forever. It took just so long to do everything in the game. And over time, updates came out. We got generation, we got things that could help us, and the game progressed as we moved through it. But back then, you just really couldn't comprehend the fact that the game could ever reach a level like this. And now with Ascension, things are even more amazing to me, and seeing how fast that we get giants in Ascension and things like that, it's just really mind blowing. So yeah, I'm kind of speechless when I see how far these accounts have come, and you know, I can't wait to see what their numbers will look like in another year or another 2 years. So of course, with both of them just sitting at spawn all day and generating ascended, they make a lot of mythic stones. So occasionally I will run around and I will spend the stones, and over time they will eventually have maxed every upgrade available in the game prior to ascending. So in addition to maxing metallic luck, they both have maxed clone luck. Here in the mine, Willow 2 is a little bit further along with maxing these mine upgrades than Willow 3 is. So we can actually go ahead and spend these stones and see how far we can get her. Oh my goodness, are we going to have enough to max this? We did. I am pretty sure that I just maxed every upgrade in the game. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, she is done. She completed all of the upgrades in the game. So from this point on, any mythic stone that she collects will just continue to build up. There will be nothing left for her to spend them on. Let's see how far we can get with Willow 3 as far as maxing her upgrades. Okay, so she still has triple and double strike to finish, and then she will also be completely done with all of the upgrades. So something fun that we might do is once I get both of them completely maxed, we'll have them mine the mythical egg at max speed with all of the upgrades and just see what that looks like. I think that'll be really fun to do, and I can make that into a video for you guys to see. All right, so they are back in their position here. Let's move on to our next group of willows. Willow 4 and Willow 6. Willow 4 has also been around for over 2 years. Willow 6 is a little bit less than that. Willow 4 was created as another booster account for myself and my server, but Willow 6 was actually created as an account to try to help new players. So if you look in my new player playlist on my channel, you will find a couple videos with her when she first started the game. Now these two accounts have been paired together to be my Ascension accounts. I have ascended Willow 4 2 times, and I have ascended Willow 6 1 time. And they have a very specific purpose. They are to become my exotic crystal booster accounts. So each of them will ascend and take all 3 levels of the exotic crystal promotion pet, and they will become exotic crystal boosters basically to support my main account and to support the server. Willow 4 is quickly approaching the end of her second Ascension. She has collector score 2.9 with 235 shiny giants out of 240. She got Prismatic Shine about 3.5 days ago, and her dynamic shiny luck at that time was 1 in 2.57. So she is doing amazing here. Probably will be ascending her again within the next couple days as my schedule allows. Her first ascension was really just for fun, but then I realized the benefit of taking the exotic crystal pet. So her and Willow 6 both have Nova, which is the exotic crystal promotion pet. So my thought process here was that if I have multiple booster accounts and I ascend them all 3 times and get this exotic crystal promotion chance pet, it should benefit my main account and those in my server by giving us more potential for a higher exotic crystal score. So at this time, she has the first level of this pet. I will be ascending her again within the next couple days and getting the second tier of this pet, and then finally getting the third tier of this pet. So she really will just be an exotic crystal booster for now, as we see what happens over the next couple months and years. Will I take her any further? I don't know, but that is really what she has now been designed to do. She is missing just 4 common shiny giants and 1 very stubborn rare. So we're going to try to get these commons out of the way, and then we will just hit that rare egg until that final giant pops, and we'll be on our way to our third ascension with Willow 4. Looking at her badges, of course, a lot of these stats are going to be temporary because I plan to ascend her again. So the only thing that she'll be keeping is her quests and her rebirths. And then she will be going into third ascension. So if you look at Willow 4 and Willow 6 side by side, it's really interesting. I ascended them together. So their first 10k push was basically done at the same time. The only difference was that Willow 6 is on her first ascension and Willow 4 is on her second ascension. So statistically, they are not the same. And you can really tell a difference because Willow 4 is about to ascend again, and Willow 6 has not even yet started Prismatic. So she is only on her normal giant index at this time. However, one thing to note is that both of them have really good exotic crystal scores, and I'm sure that the fact that both of them have that exotic crystal pet Nova is really helping with that. So same idea here with Willow 6. I plan to ascend her again 2 more times after this one. She will be taking all 3 tiers of the exotic crystal exotic pet and will most likely become a permanent exotic crystal booster as far as I can see, unless things would change in the game. If the game heads in a different direction, if we would get an update, things could definitely change, but for now, that is the plan. You can also see that Willow 4 has an advantage over Willow 6 because she ascended twice now, and her first ascension she took Wing Bolt, which is the generation speed pet. So she is generating faster than Willow 6 is, which means she's getting more pet score, more shiny score, more stones, faster metallics, all of those things. I am limited by the fact that I don't have a different exotic pet to help me with these accounts, so I have to find other ways to try to move them along as quickly as possible, because with the exotic crystal pet, the only thing it's really doing is boosting my potential for exotic crystals and helping me with gold. Really, they're designed to support my main account, and that's what they will continue to do as I move them through these next 2 and 3 Ascensions. It has been rather slow on Giants with Willow 6 being in her first Ascension. First Ascension really still feels a lot like pre-Ascension in a way. You still don't have many extra lab points. Your stats are good, but they're not anything compared to what they will be in future Ascensions. So it still feels very slow, and she does have quite a significant amount of ingots saved up, over 2,000. However, I've been really careful with using them because I don't want to go through them too quickly, and I also want to have a lot of ingots for when she is on her shiny giant hunt. So what I've been doing with her is just having her on a mining speed build in my lab, trying to fill in as many uniques that way, and then I will periodically do ingot boosts with titanium alloy in my lab and use the gold that I have saved up and try to do some ingot runs and fill in more uniques that way. So I'm taking my time with her, ascending on alternate accounts. For me personally, there's not that need for speed like there is with my main account. So I'm trying to play smart. I'm taking my time. I'm making sure that I save my ingots and use them wisely, and we will get her to the finish line as soon as we can. So right now she's working her way up through normal giants. You can see that she'll be getting the prodigious axe next. Probably going to do a couple ingot runs today, try to get this percentage on the epic egg up just a little bit higher, and then I will be mining the epic egg so that I can go over here and try for some legendary giants. I'd love to get a full legendary giant team before the end of 2x gold weekend. So today is Sunday, so I basically have less than 24 hours to try that, but that is what I will be working towards with her today. You can see that we've been working on runes in my server here. I have the AFK questing setup going on with my accounts spread out in all of the main 4 areas. So we're looking pretty good here. I've been trying to work on giant luck and get that maxed hopefully by the end of this weekend as well. Next we have Willow 5 and Willow 7. And the reason I put these two together is because they are both booster accounts right now. So just like Willow 2 and Willow 3, they spend their day sitting on a log out at spawn, just generating ascended, and their purpose is to be server booster accounts. So if you look in their lab, you're going to see that they have things selected that are going to be benefiting other players, like exotic crystals and pet speed. So they're really designed to just boost exotic crystals and gold for the server and for my main account. So at this time, I have 4 alternate accounts who are all 0.9 with 240 out of 240 shiny giants. And for the most part, I plan to keep some of them there just to be permanent boosters. And going forward, I may ascend some of them. As I talked about previously, Willow 2 and Willow 3, I'm pretty sure that they are going to stay permanent boosters, sitting here at spawn on the log, just getting stronger and stronger as they go. But these 2 accounts, I feel like I may move forward in the future. And here is a piece of inside information that you will only hear in this video. So if you are watching this video, you are going to be one of the only people that know about what I'm about to tell you. So I just pulled Willow 8 into the shot here because I currently am waiting for Willow 8 to finish her 240 shiny giants, because once that happens, she is going to be taking Willow 5's place as a booster out at spawn, sitting on the log, because I am going to ascend Willow 5 at that time. So whenever she reaches that final 240, they're going to change places and Willow 5 is going to ascend. And I know that this is going to be a big deal for a lot of you because A lot of you kind of grew up your accounts with Willow 5. When I did a video series on her, probably was last year. I did a lot of videos on her, and she was an account that was prior to the crank and then kind of transitioned into life with the crank once it was released. So she was a really interesting account to work with because I grew her prior to having these additional items in the game, and then had to kind of figure out a way to transition her to the new style of playing. So I know that she means a lot to a lot of you out there, and which is why I wanted to share that I do indeed plan to ascend Willow 5. And the reason that I chose her is because of her exotic crystal score. So we're going to come back to Willow 8 in just a little bit, but let me show you what I mean about her exotic crystal score. So Willow 5's stats are good, but they're not as high as, say, Willow 2 and Willow 3. So it's not going to be as difficult for me to let go of her as it would be if I was thinking about ascending Willow 2. You know, because when you do ascend, all of your stats, for the most part, they reset. So it's not going to be too painful for me to let go of these numbers like it would be if it was Willow 2 or Willow 3, who are much, much higher in numbers than Willow 5 is. So this is what I wanted to show you. So if I were to ascend her right now, she would start her first ascension with 200 million exotic crystal score. And I am looking forward to sharing yet another account with you who is going to ascend. Most likely I am going to pick the exotic crystal promotion chance pet, just like I did with Willow 6 and Willow 4, because the idea is to build up my server and become very strong with gold and exotic crystals. So making my booster accounts even stronger is going to be the way to do that. Okay, so let's look at these two accounts here side by side. We're just going to look at their stats real quick here. So we have Willow 5 on the left. Willow 7 is on the right. So you can tell that Willow 5 is an older account because the shiny score is much higher, the pet score is much higher, and the exotic crystal score is basically double. Now, will I ascend Willow 7? I am not sure. Most likely I will, but right now the priority is having Willow 8 finish her Shiny Giant Index, and then we will be moving Willow 5 on and making her an even stronger booster account. Alright, so let's talk about Willow 8 next. I did briefly just mention her, so let me show you what is going on with Willow 8. You may recognize this account if you watched my when to start mining video. I actually did 2 videos with her kind of recently and in the last couple months. And the last time I showed her in a video, she was on the uncommon egg mining normal giants. Well, now she has gone all the way up through the normal giant index. She got shimmering gold and prismatic shine, and she is currently working on her shiny giant index. And I'm actually really excited looking at this account right now because I didn't realize she just got her last unique mythical shiny giant. So we are going to move down to legendary and try to fill those in. But before we do that, let me show you her walls because Willow 8 was an account that spent a lot of time out in public. And because of that, she didn't grow to be as strong as some of my other alternate accounts. I had to really work hard with her coming out of Prismatic to get her shiny luck lower, to increase her income with shimmering gold. It was a bit of a struggle. I really worked hard and got her to 1 in 3.9 currently. So remember, she's a pre-Ascension account. She got Prismatic Shine on July 23rd. Today is August 2nd. So it took 10 days of me working on Giant Score and working on my walls to get her from 1 in 19k Shiny Luck down to 1 in 3.9. So I wasn't able to go right into the Shiny Giant hunt using ingots. I had to continue to work on my shiny luck so that I could improve my chances of getting the unique shiny giants. So you can see that I did max the damage wall, and we are going to max the shiny wall right now. So 10 days after Prismatic on a pre-Ascension account, I have both walls maxed, and my shiny luck dynamic is 1 in 3.88. So you can see that I have all of her runes done. And I have Prod, Ascended, and Mythical Shiny Giants all filled in. So starting now is going to be when I actually truly start my Shiny Giant hunt, right here in this moment. So we have all levers on the back wall, the Shiny Luck lever especially. Let's see how many ingots I have. I know I did not have a whole lot left over. So I have 977. So I'm going to save those. I'm just going to do a regular mine speed build right now in my lab. I'm going to save the ingots for if I do my shiny boost. Maybe when I get to rare, we might use them a little bit to try to finish off that index, because rare can be a little complicated. But for right now, because I just don't have the number of ingots that I would have if I was a ascended player, we're gonna play it safe and we're just gonna stay on a regular mining speed build. So again, the plan with her is once she has completed all 240 unique shiny giants, she will become a permanent booster account for now, and will be replacing Willow 5 out at spawn, and Willow 5 will be moving on to Ascension. Willow 9 and Willow 10. These are two of my newest accounts that I have been working on as I build them up to one day become booster accounts. I recently did a video with these two accounts where I did a very in-depth metallic hunting guide, and I would love for you to check out that video if you haven't. It is very detailed and will hopefully give you some good advice and tips if you are in the early part of the game where you are hunting metallics or going to be starting that very soon. So you can see that they are now both collector score 0.6. So even though they are both 0.6, they are not at the same place in the game as far as progress, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So right now, Willow 9 has already done some mining. She's got a common giant team. You can see that her giant score is 14 out of 250. And Willow 9 has completed her mine upgrades. So she has gotten her mining speed, giant luck, and her strikes to where I wanted them to be before I started mining with her. But you'll notice here that Willow 10 is generating Ascended. So what she has been doing is she finished her common titaniums, and she is now generating Ascended to work towards the over 17 million stones that she is going to need to work on her mine upgrades here. You can see that her percents are at 0, whereas Willow 9, she already has hers done. So that is the difference between these two accounts. Even though they're the same collector score, progress-wise, they are very, very much at different stages of the game. So Willow 10 will continue to generate Ascended, be working on her mythic stones, and once she has them, she can do some mining because she has all of her common titaniums. And that's exactly what I did with Willow 9. And that is why she has a full common giant team. But then Willow 10 will go back to the crank and she will begin working on her 1200 metallics at that point. And that is exactly where Willow 9 is. So she is working on her 1200 metallics. You can see that she almost has epic filled in. Then we'll just need legendary. She will be done. And once she finishes the 1200 metallics, At that point, then she will be in the mine full time and be working towards her 240 unique giants. So if you're looking at them side by side statistically, you can see that obviously Willow 9 is further along. She has more pet score, she has more shiny score, but they are pretty even here on exotic crystal score. They both have their shiny luck wall at 3 and their damage wall around 450. You can see that Willow 9 has purchased Fossil Record because she has done some mining, but Willow 10 has not yet purchased this. She hasn't done her mine upgrades yet. She hasn't even gotten close to finishing her metallics, so this is kind of a reminder to make sure you come back in here and purchase this when you're ready to start mining full time. And Willow 9 will be approaching that hopefully within the next couple weeks as she finishes her metallics. So with these two pre-Ascension accounts, it's going to take some time as I build them up. We will continue to work on stones and metallics and eventually mining until we get them all the way up to their 240 shiny giants, and then they will join the rest of the Willows as booster accounts. And where I take them from there, it's hard to say, but I definitely want to have more accounts available for boosting to help out my community and to help out my friends. And now I give you your first look at Willow 11 and Willow 12. So it has always been kind of a joke about how funny it would be if I had enough Willows to fill an entire server. And for a very long time I have. These two accounts were created probably almost a year ago, and I just haven't had the time to devote to them. So you will see that these two accounts both have the 240 normal pets needed to unlock the Rebirth Cave. And all along I've had a plan for them. So my idea was to play these two accounts side by side and progress them through the game in videos for you guys out there watching. I want to play them side by side so that you can see that even if you play a similar path, how different the game can be due to things like gold and RNG and luck and all of those things. So that is the idea that I have. When I will be able to start it, I'm not sure, but you can see that so far I have kept them very close together. They have a very similar amount of gold. They have a very similar pet score. I tried to keep them very, very close together, but there's always going to be variations just because of how the game is. So you'll see, for example, quests completed is different. Even their shiny score is different. So they have gone around the map one time each, basically at the same pace, and Willow 11 has a lower shiny score than Willow 12 does. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. I haven't really decided how I'm going to make this video series. It's not something that I can just record 24 hours a day, so I'm most likely going to have to do maybe weekly or monthly updates, but definitely something that I'm interested in doing for you guys. If you think that sounds like a good idea and you'd like to see that, please leave me a comment and let me know. But I wanted to at least get an introduction here to Willow 11 and Willow 12 and let you guys see them and know that they do exist and that I can have a full server of Willows if I want to. Now, the other thing that I've gotten some feedback on, and I've gotten a lot of comments out there from you guys, is that you will want to see new accounts being brought up in a server that's not necessarily strongly boosted like my home server. And I've heard you and I've taken that into consideration. So most likely when I start these accounts, I will either be in a different server or in a public server so that their results will be closer to what it would be if you were playing in a server that's not boosted. Definitely something that I want to get started on as soon as possible. It's all going to depend on my schedule and when I have the time to devote to that. I'm very excited to share them with you. Like I said, they've been in existence for quite some time now, but I just haven't had the opportunity to really, play them through the game. So I'm excited for the future and to see how that will work out with their gameplay and with some new style videos that I can bring to you guys. The final step here is I want to give you guys a quick update on my main account on Willow. So you can see that she is in her 4th Ascension. She is collector score 4.9 with 49 unique shiny giants out of 240. She is currently on day 58 of her 4th Ascension, and she has shimmering gold. We're working towards prismatic shine. So last night I did a 2-hour shiny boost with her, and it was really amazing. I had 7 mythical shiny giants, and I ended up filling the index. So not only did I get a full mythical shiny giant team last night, but I also filled all 6 unique mythical shiny giants last evening during that shiny boost. So I moved down to prod and I was able to fill 5 out of the 6 unique shiny giants there as well. So right now my shiny luck is 1 in 14.88. That brings me down to about 1 in 7 when I use my 2 times shiny boost in the evenings. I'm going to be able to continue to improve that number as I put gold on the shiny wall. I got my shiny luck wall in the grotto to 4.5. That's where I'm going to stop for now and going to focus just on the damage wall until I get that maxed. Once that's maxed, then we will go back and continue on shiny until that's maxed. So damage right now is at 619%. This is going to max at 1000. So I'm carefully balancing between adding to my walls, but also keeping in mind that I want a lot of gold saved up so that when I do my shiny boost in the evening, I'm going to have a lot of gold to work with and I can turn on a lot of levers. So right now I'm making about 600 trillion per second. I have 5 quintillion saved up, and the more that I have saved up, that means I can put a lot of levers on when I do my shiny boost. And that is really the idea behind the shiny boost and why we do that during prismatic. The idea is to try to fill in and get an early jump start on your shiny giant index prior to completing prismatic shine. So right now I'm on a stone build because I'm mining for stones for prismatic. But last evening when I was doing my shiny boost and I was mining for giants, I was using ingots. So I was using titanium alloy, some mining speed, and some giant luck. And I had a very, very successful run on shiny giants last night. And I currently have 1,255 ingots saved up. Right now I'm mining with just these stones and double strike lever on. Even though I could afford to turn triple on, I'm not doing it because I want to be saving up gold so that I can complete my walls, and that I can also be doing those ingot boosts that I mentioned with my shiny boost. So really gotta find a way to balance everything when you're working on prismatic. It's not just about getting stones for prismatic. There's a lot of other things going on that you have to think about, like saving gold for your walls and trying to get maybe a jump start on your shiny giant index if that's something that you want to do. So that is kind of what I've been doing with Willow. She has 41 million pet score, 19 million shiny score, and our exotic crystals are over 1 billion. Giant score is 5,000 and shiny giant score 278. Right now I'm looking at probably about 8 days until I finish prismatic, and then it will be on to the shiny giant hunt. And before you know it, I will be going into my 5th ascension, which is just really hard to believe that we could be at number 5 already, but Each ascension has felt different. This ascension, I actually really struggled with normal giants, which is not something I experienced in my second or third ascension. I had really good luck during those ascensions, but for some reason, this time around, I did struggle with some of the lower rarities and filling in the normal giants. So you just never know what's going to happen. And that's kind of what makes it exciting. So we're going to keep working hard and keep heading towards that finish line, and we should be ascending again, most likely within the next 2 weeks. So really exciting times and a lot to look forward to. Thank you all for taking the time today to watch this video and learn more about my accounts and their progress. There is so much potential for growth with all of these accounts, and you know that I won't stop here. I want to thank you all for your continued support of me and my channel. I love this game, I love sharing it all with you, and I will continue to share my passion and enthusiasm for Collect All Pets and for this community as we keep going here in the hopefully years ahead. Do you have a favorite Willow? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Keep working hard, keep grinding hard. I wish you all the best of luck. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.